We'll now hear from the Canadian Urban Transit Association, Vice President Mr. Patrick Leclerc.
Mr. Chair, honorable sénateur, je tiens tout d'abord à vous remercier de l'invitation.
Senators and Chair, I would like to thank you for the invitation to appear today before the Legal and Constitutional Affairs of the Senate. We are grateful for the opportunity to speak to Bill S-221, which seeks to make assaults on public transit drivers an aggravating circumstance in sentencing. We would like to thank Senator Runciman for his bill, and we'd also like to thank Ms. Burgess, Mr. Woods, Mr. West, and Mr. Deans for their testimony today. The Canadian Urban Transit Association is composed of some 500 members, including public transit networks, manufacturers, providers, and government agencies.
Association fully support Bill S-221. Every day, transit operators across the country drive thousands of people to work, school, recreation facilities, and community services. Among their many tasks and responsibilities, drivers must operate a heavy-duty vehicle, very often in stressful traffic conditions, respect the schedule, collect fares, provide customer service, and most importantly, ensure the safety of their passengers. And on this very last point, it's critical to understand that drivers are solely responsible for the safety of all passengers boarding the vehicles. While they deliver essential mobility services to our communities, making our cities vibrant and prosperous, they don't necessarily benefit from a safe work environment, as our annual data demonstrate. In fact, every year there are approximately 2,000 assaults against transit operators, and many more go unreported. This is an average of 5 assaults every single day. As mentioned before, transit employees have responsibility for the safety of their passengers, which makes these types of assaults dangerous for the greater public. There's a recent case that comes to mind which illustrates the gravity of such assaults. On March 26, 2014, in Surrey, BC, a passenger punched a bus driver in the face. At the time of the attack, the bus was traveling at approximately 30 kilometers an hour, and it was carrying about 30 passengers. The driver suffered a broken nose, broken bones in his face, continuing vision impairment in one eye, and loosened teeth. Despite all of this, the driver, whose first concern was the safety and well-being of its passengers, managed to safely bring the bus to a complete stop and then open the door so that the attacker could leave the scene and other passengers would remain safe. Thanks to the driver, no passengers were injured during this incident. However, one can only imagine how the safety of passengers, pedestrians, and other road users in the area can be put at serious risk. Our stats show that in 2012, about 80% of all crimes committed against transit employees occurred on transit vehicles. Then multiply this number of incidents by an average of 30 passengers on board, and one can see the potential magnifying risk and threat that could be created to the general public with such assaults. CUTA urges the Senate to pass this bill, as it will provide transit system with an additional tool in their toolbox to ensure they are appropriately equipped to prosecute offenders. CUTA and the Metro Vancouver Transit Police are currently working on gathering data and the sentencing of subjects charged and convicted of assaulting bus operators across Canada, and preliminary findings seem to reveal a lack of consistency in sentencing across the country for similar types of assaults. It's worth noting that CUTA and our members are also working diligently to put in place other preventive security measures. For instance, several large transit systems are installing closed-circuit television cameras and protective shields, and they're also hiring additional dedicated security personnel. These initiatives are certainly improving the safety of transit operators, but they must be supported by additional measures, such as the proposed legislative change in Bill S-221. In conclusion, Mr. Chair, we believe this change is necessary for 3 reasons. First, it will provide one more tool to transit agencies to protect transit vehicle operators who face nearly 2,000 assaults every year in Canada. Second, it will improve public safety by enhancing the safety of passengers and other road users by creating safer conditions. And third, it will contribute to increasing consistency and predictability in sentencing across the country for similar types of assault. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Patrick Leclerc, who is the Vice President of the Canadian Urban Transit Association. And he's also here with Mr. Alex Mayhew, who is the Manager of Government Relations Policy, who's available to answer any questions that you may have. So we'll start off